Okay, hello everyone, you guys. I'm so dang excited for this Zoom tonight. I was on a Zoom with Becca the other day, probably about a week ago, and I just love her story so much. And I was like, I want her to be on a team Zoom with us. I want her to share her story, kind of share her tips, all that good stuff. You guys, she is in Guam. She's actually, I was dying laughing when you were like, I'm from the future, because technically where she lives, it's January 10th right now. So it's morning by her, or like afternoon or something. It's weird, freaks me out. But I just love her story, and I love that her no excuses attitude. So I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you, share your story. Like, the floor is yours, share whatever the heck you want. You should be maybe unmuted.
Got it. I feel like I'm so
Perfect.
thankful we're all kind of sporting the homeless look right now.
I literally got home from the gym like 2 minutes ago. I was like, babe, we have to go.
This
It
is
was
the
great.
promotion look. This is how we're all gonna look in the
Yes.
next few
Yeah,
months.
for real.
Hey guys. Okay, so like she was saying, my name is Becca Garrido. I'm a double diamond in the company, and I this is actually my second time in the business. So before I talk about that, I do want to let you know a little backstory, just of who I am and how I was brought up. And so you guys already know that I'm from the future, and I live on Guam. It's currently lunchtime right now, and I grew up. So back here in the islands, it's a little tough. We're behind. I mean, we are where America's days begins because we are a U.S. territory, but we're just so behind in everything. And so even with Facebook or network marketing, anything like that. And so I actually grew up with my mom, single mom. We're always going out to hospitals, and she worked three jobs and with my grandparents. And we just didn't have a lot of money growing up. We actually lived in apartments, and um, like everywhere that we went and lived in an apartment, we found like smallest space to grow some vegetables. Like the bus stop across the street, my grandma would tell me to go get a pair of scissors and go cut the grass, and like, we're gonna make this into a farm. And she made us so excited about it, and it was fun. And so my whole entire life, I just felt like you just always had to go find something that made you money, and you were just gonna live within your means, and you just had to find a way to kind of, at the end of the day, pay the rent. And that was my mentality. And I was a teen mom in high school. And so that was kind of the beginning of where I started to care about what other people felt about me, and that my kind of lifestyle was alternative. And um, I started building this self-consciousness about what others felt about me. And that is just kind of how everything was. I started working at 16, and I, of course, with the baby, I just felt like I was missing on everything. I missed out on all the milestones. You guys, I was at work when my son had his first steps. My mom helped raise him, and he took his first steps when I was at work, and my mom was just visiting me for the day. So that kind of was like, okay, opinions and me missing out on milestones. I'm just working paycheck to paycheck. I just felt like this wasn't the life. I took me and my family to San Diego, and we moved there, and I was like, okay, we're going to build a life here because this is better than Guam. And there's just more opportunities here. I had no friends, no family. We knew nobody. And so that we got married in December, and it was just kind of like we are living no savings because we just spent that on a wedding, no Christmas gifts, and it was just tough living paycheck to paycheck. And I was just kind of like, okay, I'm done. And I was already sick and tired of being sick and tired. So when this opportunity kind of crossed on Facebook, and she was wondering if someone wanted to make a little extra, deep down in my heart, I was just like, okay. I mean, I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom or make some money from home, but that's never going to happen. But I do need the extra, and I already live this alternative lifestyle. And so I just kind of jumped in. I had no idea what network marketing was. I had no idea what a wrap was. And back then, everyone just kind of posted black and green posts and bellies all over. And so I was kind of just scared and posting that, and I was good. I'm just gonna toot my own horn. I felt pretty good. I knew nobody. all of my customers were people in San Diego that I had no relationship with, no mutual friends, and I was just kind of ignorance on fire. And nobody in my family supported me. None of my friends supported me, and all of my friends and family were from Guam, so we're in a different time zone too. So I could barely reach them, and it was just me playing with the time zones, and I had to just figure it out. I started working on my breaks. I walked to work, so I started doing that, and then after work and when my kids slept, and in 3 months time I hit Ruby. And back then, when I joined, it was just conference, and they said, rubies will get a $500 bonus when you hit Ruby in 3 months. And I was like, ooh, I got to get in that. That's why I was just like, okay, I'm in. And at conference, they announced a double good bonus, and they made it 1,000. And so I was just like, okay, maybe I could do this. Like, it's $1,000. That's a lot. That helps a lot with groceries. I was couponing, guys. I was an extreme couponer, and I'm still proud. I mean, if you look at your stockpile and you're like, okay, coupons paid for that. I'd like dumpster dived and everything for that. And so having this extra was just kind of like, okay, cool. And so I did it. I hit the bonus, and it kind of spiraled down after that. When I started posting things, I was also taught not to like boast about your winning. And when I started doing that, people started talking about me, and that kind of just like broke me. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. And I let that take over, and I just quit. I told my upline, like, I can't do this anymore. Um, and when I like make up my mind, I make up my mind no matter what. We stayed friends. She's such a sweetheart. And so even after that, I like secretly wanted to jump back in, but I felt like I was just working too hard, and people's opinions about me were just too much. Um, and so 2 years down the line passed, still friends with the girl, saw all these people promote. And um, it was only until my situation changed again that I started thinking about this more. So I ended up moving back home to Guam, because without the family or the friends around and me giving birth, I had no savings. I had no friends to throw. I felt terrible. I had no friends. I felt like people had to throw me a baby shower because I couldn't afford it, or they couldn't even send me stuff. And I didn't have, um, I felt defeated. So we moved home instantly within 3 weeks, packed up everything, and um, we lived with my in-laws, and I just felt like I was on tiptoes all the time. I became a full-time stay-at-home mom instead of full-time supervisor working 6 to 7 days a week. And it was just a change for me. I'm so used to like goals, trying to compete with everybody and like work my way up the ladder. And with one salary, it was tough, so tough. And it wasn't until my son's first birthday, which is today, actually, 4 years ago, that he fell onto the floor seizing because he had over 104 fever. And you guys, I feel like I'm going to cry because I just realized I'm giving the same talk about 4 years ago. What pushed me to jump back into this business? I just jumped. I was in the hospital, no bra on. I had not showered for days. You guys, I had to call the ambulance, and like, because my husband was out, he couldn't pick me up. So I was pissed at him because I was like, your son, it was just a lot of things. And I was at the hospital, and in my heart, I knew, I was like, I can't do this. I can't go back to work because we really needed the money. I can't go back to work, but I can't do this again to my son. Like, I can't just not be there for him. And what if somebody else, that was somebody else with him? They had no idea what to do. That would just break my heart. And I felt like everything, all the signs and everything was just like, you got to do this. You got to jump back in, because you're not going to miss out on milestones again. You're not going to, miss out on this. And so I messaged my upline. I was like, hey, I need to enroll like right now. And I jumped back in, and I have not turned back. Something different from this time and the last time, it took me way longer to go Ruby, you guys. Back then, I was on a time limit. And so I was trying to figure out, okay, I was prioritizing when I'm going to work this business. But when you work from home, you're kind of like, okay, my boss, the little baby, has so many things that he wants me to do. And so, and when you work from home, you're like, oh, the dishes is calling me, or you feel guilty because you didn't wash the dishes because you're working this business, and you're like, okay, I got to do that. And then I got to go do the laundry, and I got to do, and it's nonstop. It's harder. And I feel like coming from both worlds, working full time and then also being stay-at-home mom, right here in the middle is so hard, but so worth it. And so um, every single time that I joined, it was in January, right after December and all of that. And when conference came around, and the first time I joined, I was hitting it when conference came, and I saw how everybody like changed their personality, their drive, and all of that. And I I just knew off the bat, like, I gotta go to conference. You guys, I live in Guam. It takes me 24 hours to travel to Tampa. So, and the first time that I did that, I realized that I get vertigo. And so I was just at conference, like so dizzy and like nauseous that people were like, are you okay? Do you need to sit all the way in the top? Because I couldn't walk down the stairs because I felt like I'd fall. And I put my body through this every single time. And this year will be my third year going to the conference. And I was like, I gotta go. It's not something that I don't question anymore. It's I have to be there, because it's not just something that you could watch or hear from stories. You physically have to be there and go. It'll change your life. So that's just a little bit about me. I don't know if you wanted to ask some questions.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys see why I was like, she needs to come on here? I just freaking love your story. Like, it's so interesting how, like, you can start, it can be the right place, but the wrong time. And then it's like, you get to a point, and even if you don't actually quit, like me, myself, I started and it was the right place, but the wrong time. I didn't do anything for almost 2 years. And then the flip switched, or switch flipped, flip switch, one of the two. I don't know what the right word is, but it flipped. And you guys, I went from like a $50 paycheck to an almost $6,000 paycheck in 8 months, because it takes that point to you, like, where you get it in your head where you're like, I'm gonna do whatever the heck it takes. Like, that is what comes. And I love, seriously, when I first heard that it takes you 24 hours to travel to Guam, I was like, okay, well, I shouldn't complain about my hour-and-a-half flight then, because, man, I was like, oh, like, I hate sitting on planes, like, they're so uncomfortable. And I'm like, all right, well, let me just go crawl back into my turtle shell because I can't say anything. But just, you guys, like, trust us when we say this. Get your butt to conference. I don't care if you just started today. This is the only thing I will ever tell you to put on a credit card. Put this on a credit card and get your butt here. Figure it out. Borrow money, sell stuff, figure it out. I don't care if there's 12 of you in a room. You guys, if I told you right now, if you go to conference 8 months from now, you'll be making a $5,000 paycheck, there's not a single one of you that would be like, no, I don't want it. No, I don't want a $6,000 paycheck. Like, no, thanks. I'll pass. Yeah, I don't want that. You guys, get your butt there. If you're brand new, your ticket is probably like $250. If you're not brand new, I don't know how much it is, 300 or something. And then your flight and your hotel, and there's a grocery store right there. You can cover, like, you can make it work, but you have to decide that you want to make it work. Yeah, my first conference, I think there was like 6 or 7 of us in a room. Like, you just figure it out. Like, sleep on the floor if you have to, guys. It's 3 nights or 4 nights. Like, figure it out. Okay, so you got to conference and things blew up, and so you're double diamond. What would you give anyone's tips for, first off, they're not sure if they should go to conference, give them tips on that. And second, what should they be doing this time of year to get ready for pre-conference, and then what should they be ready for after conference? Are you muted again? Okay, hold on.
Sorry, I unmuted myself.
No, you're fine.
Okay, so it takes $1,600 to get from here to Tampa. It's also about $300 to rent a room. I gave myself $100 budget for food. I told myself I was just gonna bring all my products. That's all I have right now. And I'm gonna go and drink I'm gonna drink coffee twice a day. I'm gonna buy some granola bars, and I'm just gonna hang out. And we made it work. And so what I did was kind of told myself, if like $2,000 was due tomorrow, life and death, what am I gonna do? I sold stuff in my closet. I sold an extra pan. I sold things off the wall. I if your mamas, you guys have a lot of clothes in your closet with, small kids. Baby clothes sell like wildfire. You guys, baby stuff in general, like moms want cheaper stuff. So go look in your closet, see what you have, see what doesn't bring you value. Do the Marie Kondo style and be like, okay, does this bring me value? Does this make me happy? Or can I depart with it and maybe make an extra cash? Or maybe you only have 5 pairs of clothes, and then when you hit emerald or when you hit diamond, you're gonna go on a shopping spree. Just do what you got to do. You guys, go borrow, like what she said, go borrow. um I think my first year, I saved up my tax refund and I used that to go. And I also sold some wraps, some products, and I just made it work. Like, it's okay. We bunked, like what she said, there was 6 of us in there. I told myself I was going to get the bed because I traveled 24 hours. But we did make a girl sleep on the floor. And we went to the grocery store. There is a Walgreens walking distance from the arena that you can go to and grab some granola bars, grab oatmeal, things that will sustain you for the next 4 days. And you'll be fine slumming it because you will be surrounded by so many people just like you. This my husband calls this like my very own like elite sorority, because we're like sisters and we just kind of lift each other up, and we love hard on strangers, and we feel like people are celebrities when you see them. And when you find out these celebrities are just like you and they started off just like you. And so um, right now what I would recommend you do is, if it's been quiet in your business, you need to make some goddamn noise. Meaning, you need to figure out first what you want. You need to go, even if you haven't worked in over a year, go post on your wall. You guys, I'm jumping back into this business. I'm so excited. It is boom season. Conference is around the corner, and we're going to be announcing some life-changing things, and I want to help myself and friends do that as well. I know the top 2 goals right now is weight loss and make some money, and this is a new year, and it's also a new decade. What are you going to do differently in this new decade that you did not do the last 10 years? Let's go crush some goals. Like, make noise. That's one thing that you can control. You can't control whoever yells back at you, but you can control how much you make noise. So go on your stories, you guys. There is no limit. I mean, of course there's an algorithm limit before you go to jail, but there's no limit on how many stories you can post up. No one's going to be bothered if you post 100 stories every single day. Go throw a whole bunch of before and afters. There's your resources is everywhere. There are group pages on Facebook, Pinterest. Go follow top leaders, screenshot, edit, and post it on your own. There's so many unlimited posts and stories, and you can put that all over your page. Number 2, print out your friends list. You guys that's my mom, work from within your system already. Print that. Ask every single person to do a hat for you. I don't know if you guys have a hat giveaway. See, there's a hat giveaway. I'm using that as candy right now. Mom, stop calling. One second. Let me just tell her, hey. She knows. She knows.
But yes, you guys, if you did not know, our team does do a hat giveaway. We are currently giving away, I think it's like 200 some dollars to like 6 or 7 people. So go check Freedom Wrappers if you don't know what that is. But yes, we are having a hat giveaway. So
that's awesome. $200
for like 6 or 7 people. Yeah.
Okay, good. So what I message everybody on my friends list, and I'm going to show you. There's an easy. I don't know if you guys know how to download your friends list. So easy, but you don't have to print it. If you don't have ink, that's fine. You have a phone. Everyone has a phone here. Everyone has a computer. Save that on there, and so I have a tablet and I download my friends list and I go through every single person and I go, do they bring me value? Do I need to unfollow them? Can I ask this person to support me? And if they could use $250, and I just go down and I cross them off if I do. And that's people already within your system. And I know that people are always asking, like, who do I talk to? that, number one, is who you talk to first. Number two is go to every single person you talked from now until like five ever about this business, and not forever, because five ever is more than forever. So go back to every single person, go back to every single post. You guys, this is free resources you've already done the work from. You already built, you've already made friends with these people that added you back. They, even if you haven't posted or if you're new, these are already people that you spoke to, or everybody that's in your inbox. I know, another easy way, you know, those stories that you guys post up, do the whole thing of a network, and also go talk to other people, go on their stories, comment on it, be super super genuine, and then maybe like after 2 days of being their BFFs, you go, hey girl, I don't know if you were interested, but my team and I do this every month, but we're actually giving a $200 cash giveaway this month. I don't know if you're interested. It's super easy. All you have to do is put up a post for me, and I'll take care of all the work, and that's it. So easy. And I'll show you the post too, if you know you might be freaked out about what it is. And so go do that. And stay organized. That is one thing that I recommend that you do this month, because the moment we announce things at conference, you guys, you're not the only person on your friend's timeline that works for It Works or has weight loss things going on. But if you're organized, you'll be the first one to snatch them. And you have to be the go-to person. So what I'm sure you guys all know, we have a freaking awesome movement happening, and that's with the for every pound lost, 4 meals are donated to hungry children. Scream that out loud. Even if you have done nothing in the last year, be proud of this. This is awesome, and it holds dear to my heart to feed starving children. And you could talk about it. You could talk about your whole team as a whole and say we've lost 200 pounds as a goal this for this 1 week. That's how many people fed, and just talk about that. People seeing that, they're going to be excited with you, and being excited is contagious. And even if you're not that excited, maybe you should go on the side and like jog a little bit and maybe have some coffee or whatever, and you're losing breath, so like feels like you're excited. So that is so contagious, and people will feel that and be like, okay, I want in on this. I want to feed some people too. And sometimes people feel embarrassed that they have weight loss goals in the new year. So this is an awesome way for them to be like, you guys, my weight loss is going to feed 4 kids, even if I just lost 1 pound today. And so if that is something you haven't done yet, go start today. Go take your before pic. And even if you don't have any products with you, screenshot the Lose More, Do More the picture. Every 48 hours they update how many pounds we've lost. That is something on your stories to post every 2 days. That's something to post on your Facebook feed every 2 days. You could be doing a selfie with a little hand thing and talk about that. Like, it's okay if you have nothing, but if you want more, you got to go do something about it and use all these free resources. So stay organized, get that chart. If you want to hit Ruby this month or Ruby next month, or Emerald, go print out that chart. Figure out how many people you need, how many triple threat systems you need to go Ruby, and then divide that with how many people are working on your team, or it's just you. And I love posting that on my wall. Like, you guys, I only need 10 more people to do this triple threat weight loss gives back to children challenge to hit my goal. And people love tooting people's other horns and like rooting for them. And that's a really, really, really good way to get started too. Maybe you don't even have enough to go Ruby, or like you're still kind of scared. Maybe you want to hit that 400 goal, and that's freaking awesome. Once you learn how to master 400, you can teach anyone how to do 400. So if you feel like you haven't done anything for the last year, you've been unmotivated, you've been scared, and you want to, being here today means you want to do something. That's, you took a step forward towards your goals. So all of you, I know, have a goal in mind. Maybe something's keeping you back. Find out what that is, and then just tell yourself, why do you keep pushing? Why you're here? And even if you haven't done anything, you have everything. Like, you can do so much in this so little time, because I feel like everything's going for you right now. We have so many things you can talk about. It's a new year, new decade. People have this mindset. Like, this is rare air right now. And you need to be breathing it and soaking it all in and just doing all the things. I know you guys know what you need to do. You just need to do it, and you need to do mass action and just do it. So that's a little tip.
I love you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want to know, does anyone have any questions for her? Is there anything you're like, okay, I'm in? Like, anything you want to know, I'm sure she will answer. But you guys, one thing that I want you to know, don't be afraid to utilize your upline. Don't be afraid to go to them and be like, hey, I know I haven't done a whole lot, or hey, maybe like I know I've been scared, or maybe I haven't answered you, or hey, I haven't, like, whatever. It's okay to come to them and be like, okay, how do I start fresh today? Where do I go from here? Your upline wants you to succeed, but you need to talk to us so that we know you want to succeed. So Becky wants to know your best tip on messaging.
Okay. So one of my best tips on messaging is just really be genuine. I use a lot of GIFs, you guys, and I like to be funny, and I like to show. Um, if you ever search "Hey Girl" on GIFs and you see that person rolling in like this, that's how I break the ice. And I'm like, oh my god, that's my favorite GIF ever. I just wanted to wish you a happy new year. I saw on and here's where you have to do a little bit of research on your end, is go check out what they posted recently. Like, go be a mini stalker and just be like, okay, your daughter is so cute. I just wanted to ask where you got that dress, because I wanted to get it for my niece. Kind of like break the ice and just be super, super personal. And I know there's so many templates out there. And everyone feels like maybe there's a magic message, there's a magic template, and you hop on every Zoom like twice a day, because there's just so many Zooms happening right now, and you're getting all of this knowledge, but you're not actually sending them out. So I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to give you a message or like a template, because I know you guys have a lot. So one thing that I really want you to do is just be you. Even if you have to go voice message that and record it 30 times to feel like, then send that, and then keep sending that same one. And just something that will separate you from another distributor who you feel like is your competition is you. The person has to trust you. It's my alarm to say, take TFX and HSN, guys. I do alarms because I don't remember to take pills. And so it's true.
I'm just laughing because I have an alarm set for me to take my pills too, so it's totally fine.
So just be you, be genuine. There is one thing that I learned, you guys. I went on this. Have you ever seen those like ads about like, oh, all these marketers join this for free webinar and all that? And there was this one really, really good one that she was talking about, that the secret sauce is it's called the best friend factor. So someone trusts you more because they feel like they can talk to you. You give them value, that if I order this from this person, they're not going to mess me up. They're not going to take my money and it's a scam and all of that. And that kind of leads into what happens when people turn you down and tell you it's a pyramid scheme. And I go, okay, I don't know. And at first I used to be super red about it and be like, BZ, did you know pyramid scams are illegal? But I have taken a step back, and I figured out that maybe some people are just not educated on that. And I go, hey, so I don't know if you're educated on this, but did you know that pyramid schemes are illegal? They actually have no products whatsoever, and they require they require you to keep recruiting to make your money back. Guess what, though? Guess what? We've been in a business for 18 freaking years. You know, our freaking company is an adult now. We're debt-free. We have over 40 products. They're bomb products too. Check out my results. And they're all plant-based. We're in 25 countries. Like, I don't know about you, but this is totally legit, and I would not be part of this business if it were. And so if they trust you already, they'll be like, okay. Or if they don't trust you and they start hearing facts, I start throwing facts at them, like 18 years business, 25 countries, 40 products, debt free. They're gonna be like, okay, I'm sorry. And, and then I added like an emoji or a GIF, because then I still want to keep their business. Before I used to be like, okay, bye, block. But you guys, sometimes people don't know, and I want them to start spreading good things about this industry, because I know there are distributors out there who do make our business and our market bad, but you don't have to be that person. Just know those simple facts and just kind of be like, that's what it is. This is not a scam. So you're fine. You're good. I'm actually about to change your life.
Yeah. If you take your emotion out of it, it's super helpful, because a lot of times, like, your initial response is like, are you kidding me? Like, and you get so mad and you're like, what, how dare you call my job a pyramid scheme? And you get all irritated. But you guys, like, when you get defensive with them, in their head, they're like, see, I told you it was not okay. But if you're like, oh my gosh, girl, like, I'm so sorry that you felt like that. Honestly, I felt the exact same way. The feel, felt, found method is genius. I totally understand how you feel. I felt the exact same way. But what I found was, when I did my research, was that it's an 18-year-old company with 40 products, and pyramid schemes are illegal. And then they're like, oh, well, now I look like an idiot, so that's cool. Like, people just don't know. They think it's a pyramid scheme because they heard from their aunt's best friend's daughter's cousin's neighbor. Like, that's just the thing. Like, people don't know. So educate them in a not attacking way. Like, agree with them and be like, I totally felt the same way. Because probably at one point you saw someone posting that they were making so much money on Facebook, and you were like, don't believe you. I know I did. So, like, know where they're coming from. It's not that they're truly trying to attack you, even though it feels like that. They just don't know. That's all it is. Any other questions? Yes, it's hard. The more money you make, the more unreal it is to people, that they're like, you make what from your phone? I had one girl that she was like, you make 3 times what I do in a month, and you work from your phone. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. And it's like I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. That she joined my team, I think. I don't remember. But I just remember that conversation and being like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't see any other questions. Is there any last minute tips that you want to share with everyone?
One thing that I want to just share with everyone is that be more than just an It Works distributor and doing the training and doing the 6 list. Take ownership of being a business owner. And this company is not just keto coffee. This isn't just being an ambassador diamond. This isn't just about that. This company is you. So it reflects your goals, it reflects your fears, it reflects what you want for your family, where you see yourself in 5 years, it reflects your growth. So when I feel like you quit on those things, you're quitting on yourself. And I don't want you to do that. This is you. This is who you are. This has come to you, and we've crossed paths, and this has crossed your path for a reason. There's a reason why you want this, why you joined, and why you took that step to grow. So build your skill set every single day, even if it's 10 minutes a day. Go grow, go do some self-development, vision boards. Go, you guys, what I was a terrible like taking pictures, and I was like, if only I could take better pictures. So I went on YouTube and I Googled how to take better pictures. I went to Pinterest and I was like, Halloween Instagram photos, and then I save them, and then I make content days. You guys, I have no time to do it every day. Showering doesn't happen every day. So I do one full day of content days, so that I could just take photos that I wanted, and I just use them throughout the whole month, throughout the year. And I learned, so even small things like take better pictures on Instagram, because you guys, Instagram, I'm not going to tell you, if you take sucky photos, you need to get better at them. So you go go develop that skill set if you feel like that's one thing. Or maybe it's talking to people. You guys, I was so nervous every single time I went live. I would write down everything that I wanted to say on a piece of paper, and I would just like say or whatever. But then your personality starts coming out. You start realizing every single time that you repeat the same information, it becomes so much easier to say, and you're not as nervous, and you feel confident. And then just understand that you're gonna suck in your first few lives, and that's okay. Just go do it. Go experience the suck so that you could fail forward. And then just simple things right now, it's be the go-to person for everyone on your timeline for this period of time. So that's weight loss and making money. For weight loss, it's so easy. You guys go to Pinterest and search weight loss tips. Screenshot that and post it on your stories. You're giving value to somebody. You know what takes 2 minutes? Go find a motivational post, post it on your wall. Right now, people are experiencing this rare air, and if you are giving that value, they're going to be like, she's the go-to person for weight loss. I'm going to refer everybody to her. So do that. Just give value. I learned that from Gary Vee, jab, jab, punch. Value, 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 value. Now I'm asking you for something in return. So if you give somebody value, they'll appreciate you more and respect you more and trust you more, and then they'll buy from you. So that is pretty much what I have for you guys. And yes, if you see me at conference, definitely give me a big hug and just yell my name. People say Becca if you watch Pitch Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I just love you so much. Thank you so much for being on tonight. I know you guys put a 1 in the chat if you're like, you just love her, because you're just one of those people that, like, I just feel like you're a yellow where I just want to like hug you, and I'm like, you're just such a nice person. So thank you so much. I know that this was helpful for so many people, and I cannot wait to see you at conference. And you guys, please remember, if you are on this and you're ready to take your business to that next step, message your upline and say, hey, I'm ready to go. If you heard her and you're like, hey, I want to go to conference, message your upline and say, how do I get my butt to conference? We will help you find a way. So I love you all. I hope you're having a great Thursday, and we'll talk next week. Bye.
Bye.